Eskom's 350 billion rand government guarantee is already a risk to the fiscus. Now, the power utility reportedly wants government to shoulder 100 billion rand of its debt. With a massive 420 billion rand debt amassed over a decade, Eskom is struggling to pay interest costs from revenue earned. Spokesperson Khulu Phasiwe would only say the utility is discussing a strategic review with the government.
Once that review has been completed and the contents have been shared with all the key stakeholders, including National Treasury, including the President and also the Department of Energy and other relevant stakeholders, then we will know as to what intervention, if any, that government will be coming up with.
Some experts warn that this request to government could be catastrophic.
Roughly speaking, it will add another 20 billion rand a year onto government's expenditure pattern. And we already know that the government debt levels are very high and their deficit is very high. So the problem is the government can't afford this, and should they do it, the country will be classified as junk status by all the credit ratings agencies simply because the debt levels will be too high.
According to McCurry, consumers could end up footing the bill.
You will have to see higher taxes because the government's got to find this money from somewhere. In other words, government deficit now, the difference between what they earn and what they spend is about a negative 4% of GDP, and it can't really go much higher. So they would have to tax more.
Eskom bosses are currently on an investor roadshow in the UK and US to try and raise the 72 billion rand they need for the current financial year. So far, they've already managed to raise around 52 billion. Aviwe Mtila, Johannesburg.